we're moving into this small space that has curvy walls, and it seemed ideal to have your small interior paintings. And these are painted in a very different way than the landscapes. And tell us how these
are.
evolve in your work.
Well, I mentioned boundaries and the difference. I love the contrast between the inside and the outside. And as a child, since the outside was our rooms and we built forts, and so those two spaces and the contrast between those spaces, and sometimes inside the house can feel very loaded and you want to be outside, but sometimes outside is scary and inside is safe. And so I'm interested in those different kind of spaces. And I wanted these interiors to be like these little windows that you were sort of peering into somebody's world and have all that sort of intimacy. So that's why they're small, because they really worked better on that small scale. And then in contrast to me, the landscapes and the other paintings are these kind of crazy falling apart, spilling out, as opposed to peering in. And I often take the view where you're standing, you just open the door and you're looking in, or you're looking through the screen door in this one. So you're about to enter a room. So they have
in the
that
library.
Sort of,
you don't give us specific titles.
No.
But the rhythm of the stacks and
yeah. And then I take the same patterns, like this chair, which is still my family, where I grew up. We lived in the same house for 40 years. I was married there. It was so a lot of these paintings started when they sold that house, and I was sort of saying goodbye to that space. And so this is in that old house, and but this chair we still have, and I use this sort of moire pattern in there and in there. Like I'm taking the interior patterns of that childhood home often and incorporating them into the landscape, and that's what makes up the sticks and leaves, and the undergrowth is actually made out of the same stripes from a towel or those stacks of books. Like I'm incorporating, and even as we talked about the color is interior colors. It's wall paint, and it's wallpaper, and I love pattern, and I love what pattern does. And I still think of sitting on my childhood bed and staring at the wallpaper and trying to figure out where those lines go, and that's also incorporated in the landscape paintings.
Well, thank you, Allison, for agreeing to be here on an early morning and talk about the work.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.